Stadium in Foxborough. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are about an hour's drive southwest of downtown Boston in the area known as Patriot Place, Gillette Stadium, here in Foxborough. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New England Patriots. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Brandon, when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach and talked about how they wanted to begin this game offensively, they talked about their script, didn't they? 10 to 15 plays, the first 10 to 15 they had on their script. Nowhere on the script was there throwing an interception, I have to believe.
And a great spot to start this drive from here. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll look to throw here. Going to throw deep for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Uh-oh, Charles, now you get to talk about your old spot, the secondary, very key here in this one.
You have to cut me off because, you know, I'll talk about them all game long. Love to see those guys match up and challenge the best wide receivers.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
First and goal here from the 9. And they'll run it here. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Eluding the pressure right. His throw incomplete.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Can this defense get the stop on the opening drive? Here's 3rd and goal. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's got time. And that is incomplete.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance that they have any decision to make on 4th down. But things happen so quickly in the end zone in this compressed area of the field that you're just happy to knock it away and not allow a touchdown.
So they come into enemy territory. Nice drive to start the game, but they probably wanted 6. They only got 3.
I agree with you totally. That's the expectation. When you get the ball and you start moving it and you're rolling, you think you're going to end up in the end zone. But they should be happy with the 3. A good way to get things going here in this game.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And when this offense is clicking on all cylinders, the running back is in sync as well.
The focal point. Runs, catches, blocks, sets the tone for the offense.
And they still need 8 yards for the first here on second down. A second down throw for Brissett. Throws right side, and that's complete. That one goes for 24 yards. And now a first down following that long gain. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Second down, Brissett finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Throwing, Brissett. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 24 that time. And the Pats are set up now with a first and goal. So the pass complete, but he took a shot there. Great concentration.
And what the defense is hoping for, Brandon, is that they can accumulate those types of shots all game long. So hopefully his concentration won't stay at that same level.
So the chains are on their sides. It's first and goal from the 6. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. And for Jacksonville, their defensive starters, the youngster, the rookie out of UCLA, Miles Jack, a guy to watch.
You have to watch him because he can make a big play from just about anywhere on the field. Top 5 talent. Ends up going number 36 because of a knee injury last year at UCLA. They'll use him all over the place for matchup situations, and he will wreak havoc.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
From the 3 now, here they come on third and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. A great play there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Pats have taken the early lead. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he's brought down after a good game.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. 2 Patriots there to bring him down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people who have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of 2. Now third down. Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. So backed up to the 6 now. Third and goal. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
All right, let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind. of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys, because the offensive guys are always taught, find the first down sticks and make the play. On defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out costs him a yard as he's out of bounds at the 24-yard line. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Brissett now on 2nd down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Watch left, watch left, watch left. Stop right there. Come on, let's go. Ohio.
They go play action with Brissett. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Brissett sets to throw it. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And down inside the 15 he goes. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Partner, they weren't quite in the red zone, but things are starting to get condensed on the field. Throwing the corner route there, really nice play because it gives them a little bit of room to complete it.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Let's go.
Play action now. Brissett. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
And they'll start in a hole here as he's brought down at the 11-yard line. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. So the offense has it 1st and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Got to give some credit there, able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
On play action, they'll throw. He's got time in the pocket. And incomplete on the deep ball. Good job by the O-line. Quarterback had time to go through his checks. That's one you need to take advantage of.
A perfect situation, and they're unable to take advantage of it. When you have that much time to scan the field, you have to find an open receiver.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. A good pickup there at 22. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game...
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there. 52 yards. And once again, the Jaguars are back out in front. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. Took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get to the 30-yard line before going out of bounds. And the Patriots gearing up to go now. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah, a little tired, and if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Second down, Brissett. Wide open receiver, complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Let's go!
Off the play fake, here's Brissett. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A good pickup there at 22.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. A second down throw for Brissett. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Jaguars getting set to go. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. That one good for 10 yards. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Third down now following the completed pass. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. And the Jaguars send out their punter, standing just outside his own goal line. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This is taken at the 23. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
A good pick up there at 20 yards. There were a couple holes there, partner. Was that zone coverage?
That's exactly what it was, Brandon. When you see man-to-man, that defender runs with the receiver. In this case, they were just taking care of their zone coverages, their responsibilities on the field, and the offense found the open space.
They'll get 19 yards there, and it gives the Pats a first down.
So much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Here's Brissett. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. And the offense needs 7 out of this play on third down. first throw here for the backup Garoppolo. Looking for someone to throw to. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Bulldozes past him. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not.
Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And this defense looks for one more stop here on third after the run. And they're definitely showing blitz here. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half.
Well, this is one of the downsides of being a rookie quarterback. You know you're going to get called out about everything you do that goes wrong. Here, maybe he's a little uncertain about where to go with the football, and at this level, uncertainty equals turnovers. And this one winds up being intercepted.
That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
10 yards still left on second down.
Leopard! Slam! Back 99, Philly, here we go! Set!
Back to the air on second. It's Garoppolo. Throwing left side, it's complete. And inside the 20 before it's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
So the D-line's going to spread out. They'll throw now on the final play. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup. And hello, I guess Larry's halftime show was buttoned through. And we are moving on and ready to go for the third quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And to give this time to the tailback. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Well, Brandon, so much for halftime adjustments. They still can't get anything going on the ground. It may be time to loosen things up and start flinging it around a little bit.
And this offensive unit, they have to face a 3rd down and 12 now. They'll look to throw. Surveying the field. And got his man complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down. You're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellows got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be from 56 yards out. And this one is no good. He missed it. And we will remain tied here in this third quarter.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Their dangerous wide receiver, 54 yards. And the Patriots have moved out in front. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic. But usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height, or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And now out come the Jags. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll power his way up near the 25. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They're going to look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. A good pickup there at 22.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. They'll come out in the pistol. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Second down now after the incompletion. They'll look to throw again. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
On second down, here's Garoppolo. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Offense in a little bit of a bind here. 9 yards to go on third down. On play action, now Garoppolo. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. 18 yards there in the first down.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even add a little extra at the end with a short run.
And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack. And it's third down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player. Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. Back now in Foxborough. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the fourth. They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
No, check, Patriot!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken around the 12. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Patriots take over. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. A gain of 3, second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. A handoff as they run the counter play. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
We just saw what a lot of teams call a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game. That signifies they want to run the football. Yeah, occasionally they'll play action and throw it, but most of the time, those guys on the field means strength, power, run the ball behind them. And now what a lot of teams are doing is they're taking an extra offensive tackle and putting him in a tight end number to give them even more blocking power, and we just saw it on that play.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. A big play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Patriots add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Buying time to his left. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And quickly, they get to the line.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Hey. All right, here we go.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And his throw is incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He sets to fire deep, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You can feel the anguish all the way up here. It certainly looked like he had that one in the end zone, open, unable to hold on to it.
They're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Let's go! Go on, go!
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Patriots defense is going to take over on down. And now out come the Patriots. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Watch it now, Barney. Let's go. Boom, landed. Watch it now.
They run the counter now on 1st down. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses. And now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one. And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the 2nd half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it.
No. Check. Patriot. Hurry up.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Quick hitter here. It's complete. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it.
It's caught inside the 25. A big third down play there for the Jags. 44 yards.
So let's go ahead and add to the difficulties of guys trying to cover receivers. They got to deal with speed, shiftiness, all that stuff. But how about when they have height and length and deep downfield? You throw the ball up in the air, that's how they uncover.
Now whistles blow and the Patriots are going to take another timeout. That will be their third and final stoppage as they'll only have the 2-minute warning now remaining. And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here. Back to throw again. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Their big-bodied receiver with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jaguars have cut it back within a score. And the lead will shrink to 6. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Finding time. Look at the time. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. Getting late here in the fourth, and if this team has any chance to win this football game, their defense obviously needs a stop here.
All right, here we go. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Garoppolo throwing on second. He's got time. Still back there. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. And the offense here just looking to stay in bounds, complete the short passes, and put this game on ice. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Second down, 9 yards to go. They come up in an offset eye. They come out here in the eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Santos yanks that one a bit. No good. Wide to the left for Santos. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon. So apparently, neither guy is immune.
They'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. Back to Teddy. Can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Patriots are close to finishing off this football game. They go to a knee here, and with that, it's on to the AFC title game. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Patriots winners here at home as we say so long from Foxborough.